Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, which you probably are because I've only posted a few videos, my name is Marissa Davis, or That's So Davis, and I am obsessed with books. I love to talk about books. Books have become my whole entire personality almost at this point, and I'm here to talk to you today about these 11, I think I counted right, 11 booktok books and whether I think that they're worth the hype. Now, this is no hate or shade towards any of these authors. Anytime you put a book out in the world, I think it is incredible. Putting pen to paper or like putting fingers to laptop is an amazing thing. These are incredible worlds that these authors make. This is just solely my opinion on if I think personally these booktok books are worth the hype. Let's get into it. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy is an insanely popular book on booktok that I think is worth the hype. I just think this is like such a good piece of literature. Like the love triangle of it all. I love love triangle. It's got brother's best friend. It's got he falls first. It's got like it's got the coma trope, which it actually, in my opinion, is like an underrated trope. I loved this book when it first came out. I ate it up and then I couldn't read it for a long time afterwards because it was like so emotional, and I love to cry, okay? Like I will cry in a book, and this book 100% made me cry. I'm actually so excited for Promise Me Not that comes out on October 1st. Like it is one of my most anticipated reads this year, but this book right here, man. And Noah freaking Riley is just like top tier book boyfriend, and I typically like them a little bit more toxic. This man there's no room for miscommunication because Noah is like, no, this is what it is, this is what's going down, this is how I feel. Like this is a man and I love him, so I'm going to say yes 100% to that. I'm actually gonna put these down now because they're heavy. Okay, number 2 we have Normal People by Sally Rooney, and yes, 110% yes. Again, the angst in this is so good. I love the parallels and like the irony and some of the scenes. Connell and Marianne's love story is just so iconic, and I really do live for that moment when they're like sneaking around and he's popular and she's not as popular, and like he kind of dismisses her in front of all his friends or denies their relationship. Like that is always just gonna do it for me because the angst of all of that hits so deep, and then they move into college and like the roles are reversed, and it is just like so good. If you haven't seen the show, also the show is incredibly insane. Like I loved it so much. I can't get over how good this book is. I typically don't like third person, but I just think this book is so done like incredibly well, and I love it. Chef's kiss. If I could read it again for the first time, I would. Like I just think this is so freaking good. 100% worth it. I didn't put these in like any particular order, so there are going to be a lot of them that I do think that's worth the hype, just to let you know off the bat. 3 is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Now, I will say I have an unpopular opinion, I think, because Michael is my favorite like boyfriend out of the 4 horsemen. I love him to pieces, and there's so much controversy on like this book. People I feel like either love it or hate it, and they either love Michael or they hate Michael, and I'm going to be in the lover version because there's just something about him. I'm also very loyal to the first like couple or boy, man, whatever main male character introduced in a series. Like I'm typically always going to go for them. Now it's not always the case, but like 9 times out of 10 I just have like a sense of loyalty, and Michael is the one who like introduced me to this world. Michael and Rika, I love Rika down bad. I think she is such a bad bitch. I think Michael really let her be her own person. Now, did he have to do all the things he did? Maybe not. But we're not here to discuss that. We're here to talk about if it's worth the hype or not, and I'm gonna say absolutely yes. Magnolia Parks. Now, this is a very beloved book, so y'all please do not come for me. I just personally didn't think it was that like amazing and incredible. Did I love this? Yes. Was it very like angsty, everything that I typically love in a book? Yes. But there is just something about it that like didn't capture my attention. Like I didn't even read the rest of the books in the series. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just me personally, but I just really could not get into it the way other people got into it. I love Magnolia. I think she is such a bad bitch. I did find her a little bit insufferable, and BJ, I also like I couldn't really get into it with him. Like I didn't read this and be like, I love him. And I don't know what it was, but like I said, I just couldn't invest in it like I do in other books. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to say no. Is it a good book? Yes. Do I think it's worth the hype? No. Bride by Ali Hazelwood, I'm gonna 100% say yes. I loved this book. It was very entertaining. If you're not into the whole like fantasy of it all, I think this is like a really good book to dive into because it's not like super hard to get into the whole world. I think she did a really good job, and I love a vampire werewolf like shifter romance. Like I just love that. So this was like a 10 out of 10 read for me. I actually didn't have high expectations going into it. I was like, because I'm like, I am not typically like an Ali Hazelwood fan. It's not that I don't like her writing. I just like, she's not one of my favorites. She's not somebody that I normally reach for. And I saw this and I was like, okay, this will be like a fun read. It ended up being like one of my favorite reads of the year when I read it. Like it was very good. So I'm gonna have to say yes, is worth that. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Now this is a masterpiece of a book. I loved this. I loved the flashbacks from past to present. The miscommunication of it all is always gonna do it for me. I know that this is very like controversial hot take, but I love miscommunication. I love the cheating trope. Sue me, I'm sorry, I just do. There's something about the angst and the drama and everything all of that brings. And I really love, okay, this is like a micro trope that like is my little secret, but I love a confined space micro trope. When they're in there in that little closet and they're just talking and sharing their life back and forth, that's just gonna do it for me every time. It doesn't happen in a lot of books, and so when I do get it, I eat it up. I loved it, and I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it, so I won't say like the part that I love the most, but I'll just say that the guy in this is like one of my favorites and a very, very good time. So I'm going to say yes. Next we have Ice Planet Barbarians. Listen, was this a fantastic read? Yes. Did I read the other ones in the series? Yes. Do I think it deserved like the hype blow up? Not really. Like there's nothing like super crazy that I was like, this is amazing. Like I don't know what it is that we just all like ate this up and it was just like very good. I just don't like, it's probably not something that like I'll go back and read again. You know what I mean? Like when I think of like a book that I like really love, it's something that I can read over and over again. I'm sorry, but I can't read it over and over again. And again, not to say that it's not a good book, just personally not worth it. Okay, next up on the chopping block is gonna be The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I love this book to pieces. It is one of the first like super popular books that I read on BookTok, and I love it. I love everything about it. I love the fake dating. I love the jealousy. I love Hannah and Garrett's relationship. I love her relationship with the other guys. I love how we got introduced to all the characters. I think this book set it up very well for the other books. I think she did an absolutely amazing job in this book. I don't think it's overhyped. I feel like sometimes books get like really hyped on BookTok and then we love to like tear them down. I'm sorry, but this is just like something I'm never gonna think is bad. It was an amazing read, incredible. I loved it. I had a good time. Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now, I actually really like this book. I actually like it more than a lot of her other books. There are a few of her books that I have as my favorites, and maybe I can rank those. I know there's a lot of controversy about Colleen Hoover. There's a lot of controversy about It Ends With Us. I'm not even gonna bring that up right now on this channel. I'm gonna talk about Verity and if I think it deserves the hype. Simply put, no. Like I feel like there are a lot of books that are kind of similar to this vibe, that if you want this, you can get this from other authors. I'm not gonna sit here and like compare it and be like, read this instead, because that would be not nice. I just don't think like it is as like amazing as I thought it was gonna be, and that's just personally my opinion. Again, no hate, but I'm gonna say no. A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. Now, I feel like this kind of got a revamp recently. I've been seeing it all over my FYP, and I will say I read this a very long time ago. I am gonna be that person. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I was supposed to be in the video, because I have been an OG Love Letter to Whiskey. And actually, shout out to Candy Steiner because she did send me this. Thank you so much. Like, I love this book. The back and forth the friendship to lovers to enemies, not enemies, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I love how much back and forth it is between these two characters, the rich history that is between the characters, and like how it plays a part in their relationships going forward, and how like they cannot stay away from each other and they keep going back to each other. I told y'all, I love the mess, I love the toxic, I love the drama. So this is gonna be a hit for me every time. I go back and reread it at least once a year. So yeah, I'm gonna say it deserves the hype. Last, but certainly very much not least, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Guys, this is one of my absolutely favorite books series of all time. I, again, am gonna say, I was supposed to be in the video, I was one of like the first readers. I wasn't one, like, I don't know if I was the first reader, but I read Binding 13 when it was just Binding 13. Keeping 13 had not even come out yet. And I remember getting to the last page. I wish I had TikTok when I read it, because I could have filmed myself. Y'all should have seen me. I was like, no, I will absolutely not accept that it ends that way. What is happening, Chloe Walsh? And I have been a Chloe Walsh girly for a long time, and I think Binding 13 is one of her like best works. It is so good. The story is just incredible. I love Shannon. I love Johnny. I think Johnny is like top tier book boyfriend. He is so understanding. He is like, he's so driven. He's such like a man, even though he's still a boy in the book. He just, his character is so strong. I love, like, I feel like when I read this, I felt like I was put into, like, I felt like I was Shannon, and I was like feeling all the emotions, and there are not a lot of authors that do that for me. And so when I find an author that does that, I'm going to like love and adore them, and I'm gonna reread over and over again. This one and Say You Swear in this group is something that I read a couple times a year, like, and I listen to it on Audible. I know this top to bottom. I'm gonna say yes, worth the hype. So in case you need a recap, quick rapid fire. Not worth the hype, not worth the hype, not worth the hype. Listen, they were good books. I just don't think that like they're worth the hype. No hate. Amazing authors, no hate. Books that I do think are worth the hype. So that's 3 books out of the 11 that I didn't, and 8 books that I do. So I think that's a very good track record for BookTok. Let's pat BookTok on the back. Listen, I also want to say I think there's a lot of hate going on recently in that community, and let's just get back to talking about books that we love. Like, let's talk about books that we love. Let's review books. If we say we don't like them, we don't like them. We don't have to crap all over them and put them down and like make a big thing about it. And we also don't like have to attack other people. There are a lot of these fandoms that people get a little crazy on. It's never that serious. It's just a book, okay? Just my personal opinion. I hope you like this video, and I will see you soon. Bye!